first part of this drive is along Wilshire off of Kelly. I'm heading up toward Broadway Extension, which is 235 in Oklahoma City. Initially, I thought I would just drive across Wilshire or across 63rd, but I thought, if I'm going to do this, I might as well show folks Thursday night what 235 and the Kilpatrick Turnpike are like. So, it's a hands-free device. I'm not touching the thing. It's just recording. Record, I drive a 2018 Subaru Forester all-wheel drive. It has a nice high carriage, but look, this isn't 10 inches of snow here. This is maybe an inch at most, a trace to an inch so far. As I'm coming upon the light, about to hit the 235 ramp. Easy stop, no sliding, no slickness, all good. I mean, I'm also not driving like a maniac. The on-ramps and bridges can be the tricky part. For those of you who are not from the South, if you're in the North, you're like, oh my goodness, this is cake for you. But for us, they don't come out here and clear the roads. And we have this mix of freezing rain, sleet, and snow, which would cause havoc for most any driver. Alright, let's see what we got here. Traffic is moving steadily along Broadway Extension. Not too fast. You know what? I should have cleaned off my left-hand mirror. That was a mistake on my part. I'm going 38 miles an hour. Just past Britton Road. For those of you who are not from Oklahoma City and say, do they ever get any real snow down there? There have been 2 blizzards in my lifetime. One was on Christmas Eve 2009, and it was a legit blizzard by the meteorological definition. Sustained winds above 30 or 40 miles an hour, I forget which it is. But it was a legit blizzard, and I believe we had, 10, 12, 14 inches of snow and drifts that were even higher. And then, just more than a year later, on February 1st, I believe it was, 2011, another blizzard hitting Oklahoma. About a foot to 14 inches of snow, and in my 48 years, that's the most snow we've ever had. Those 2 events. Nothing else close. I think Oklahoma City averages between 6 and 8 inches of snow per year. I love it. I bought a Subaru for this purpose. I want snow. I don't like ice. Nobody likes ice. There's nobody who says, boy, I wish we had an ice storm. Now, I got to be careful. The other thing is that you're not only paying attention to your driving, you're paying attention to everybody else's and other people who might not have the roof of their car cleaned off or their side mirrors working. Or in this case, they're dredging up a lot of snow and sand from the road, and you don't want to get into that. You want to give everybody plenty of room and hope that they give you plenty of room also. The snow that's coming here to Oklahoma City has been a little late in the day per the forecast. Most of western Oklahoma got their snow earlier today. We thought Oklahoma City might get it earlier today, but apparently it's going to be tonight. We could still get 2-3 inches. For those of you who don't know me, I work at a TV news station, so I work with local meteorologists on the regular, and they're fantastic at their craft. I've worked at 2 stations here in the metro, and I've come to appreciate every meteorologist I've ever worked with. Some of them prefer one model over the other. Some of them are better with severe weather than they are winter weather, but everybody has their unique specialty and their unique way of looking at forecasts. And when you're looking at a snow forecast, it's not like a rain forecast. You don't see a blob on the model and predict exactly where it's going to be. It's much more 3D than that. You have to predict where the blob of moisture is going to be, and then the precise temperature in the various levels of the atmosphere above it. So in our case today, we had a lot of freezing rain and sleet earlier in the day in Oklahoma City, and that's because the temperature and the level of air above us at 5,000 to 8,000 feet was about 40 degrees. Other parts of the state much cooler. We could have like 8 or 10 inches of snow right now if it weren't for that upper level of warmer air. 235 is a little bit slick, but everybody is giving each other enough room, and it's been fine so far. I think I'm coming up upon 122nd Street, which means that the Kilpatrick Turnpike is next. And the thing that's going to be interesting about the Kilpatrick Turnpike, if you're from Oklahoma City and watching this on Thursday night, is that ramp is a booger. Let's see. I'll say a couple Hail Marys. And for the sake of those of you watching, I'm driving northbound. The snow has been heavier this afternoon north of the Oklahoma City metro. I'm still in Oklahoma City proper, but we're inching upon Edmond. I actually live in northwest Oklahoma City, so we're not quite getting to Edmond. I'm going to attempt to maneuver right here to get on the turnpike. There is nobody behind me or to my side, so I can take my sweet time, and I'm going to give these vehicles plenty of room and space. I'm down to 27 miles an hour. That truck in front of me decided, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not a crazy man. I am a crazy man. And we're all white knuckling it. Oh, Lordy. Well, that might have been a mistake here. Bridges and overpasses, man. I've got a vehicle coming up behind me who needs to slow down, because I'm not going to move down faster. I'm moving 15 miles an hour right now. The good news about this bridge is, if I were to slide off to the left or the right, I've got some snowpack that I can sort of like lean into with the vehicle, so to speak. But now I'm coasting here. I'm going a little fast. I'm going almost 20 miles an hour. And I know everybody in Minnesota and Canada and points to the north and to the east in Europe are looking at me like a wimp. But the truth is that it's been an easy drive. Low stress, and this isn't even all that bad for even Oklahoma. We'll get 2 or 3 of these per season to get our 6 to 8 inches. And now I'm off the bridge, onto the turnpike. So sailing should get a little smoother, and I'll be very, very curious to see here on the turnpike, going westbound, whether or not the road itself is actually just wet. Okay, cars are going 40, 50, I say 40, 30, 40 miles an hour. So I'm making that curve. I got nobody to my left. I'm not going to be Macho Numbnuts. That should be my nickname, Macho Numbnuts. It should be somebody's. I suspect I'm going to get passed a couple of times, particularly by this car behind me. I'm pretty sure he's got an SUV, which is fine. I've got a Subaru. Subaru's the safest cars on the planet, the best equipped for winter weather. I absolutely love my Forester. And if that dude hits it, I'm probably going to fight. All right, I'm up to 38 miles an hour. It's, I feel like if I maneuvered too heavily one way or the other, it might be a little much. Might throw me off. Yeah, he's going past me on the right because he's a jackass. That's fine. You know, everybody who goes faster than you in these events, they're a jackass. And everybody who goes slower is grandma. Why grandma? Now that guy's got a RAV4. Those are pretty good cars too. And it's built quite a bit like a Forester. I still like mine better. In fact, there are 2 or 3 of us at work who all have Subarus, and we got our Subarus about the same time. 2 of us have Foresters, 1 of us has an Outback, and we call ourselves, or I call us, the Subaroons. Okay, see, this guy is spitting up snow, ice, stuff from the street, and I'm just not in a rush. So we're just going to take it slow and do a little chit-chat. So if you're on my channel for the first time, I don't just post driving videos. My name is Ryan Welton. This is Ryan Welton Music. I'm a musician, but I'm also a digital journalist, a digital marketer, create content. Yeah, I'm one of them. And I'm a kid at heart. Love travel, love baseball, love cooking, love eating. Just got engaged to my fiance Christy. She's waiting for me at home. We've got our honeymoon planned out. Headed to Toronto and Montreal. I'll tell you, when I was much younger, I yearned for warmer weather. I yearned for Florida, South Texas, which I love. I actually prefer South Texas to Florida. But really, I would prefer Montana or Utah. I love this weather. Absolutely love it. I used to hate it. It used to be completely opposite. I don't know. Something changed. I think it was that I got a Subaru and I wasn't so fearful of driving in it. Once you go all-wheel drive, and before this I had a Honda CR-V, but once you go all-wheel drive, you just, it doesn't bother you. We've only seen a couple of cars stuck on the side or having issues. Coming up upon Penn, I still probably have 3-4 miles to go. Up to about 32 miles an hour. Look, if you're watching this in Oklahoma City tonight on Thursday night, this is not going to get any better throughout the night. In fact, I'm starting to feel a little bit of give now in the tires. Like I should not drive a lick faster. And a lot of these portions of roadway are actually elevated, overpasses, the streets going under them, so they freeze quicker and they freeze harder. Don't have anybody behind me. I mean, a long ways away, so I feel pretty safe there. What's crazy about Oklahoma is by this weekend we're going to be up back to 50 degrees, and by early next week up in the early 60s. It's going to get everybody hoping for spring in early January, and yet it's months away. What's also crazy about Oklahoma is that even when we get into April and May, we can still have snowstorms. In fact, some of Oklahoma's heaviest snows have been in April. I recall covering a snowstorm that was up in Woodward County, April of, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, and it was 2 feet of snow. Northwest Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle and the Oklahoma Panhandle, you might as well be in New Mexico. It's just a different topography. Okay, now we got a guy coming on my right. Yeah. I mean, 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, whatever he's got. Probably a little fast, but he looked, I don't know. I'll take it from that truck. That's fine. That's a little fast, though. And then on my left, we got the Ram. That's the big man truck right there with the elevated, the lifted tires. Looks pretty awesome. Now this guy is a jackass, and he's got the OU logo on the back. That guy's a dipshit. He's following that truck way too closely. I sure hope that's not anybody I know. Don't mean to offend you. We got a car stalled out here on the right, just past May. We're coming up upon the Lake Hefner Parkway. You know, it'll get a little wet under these bridges, and you think it's all good to go, but I bet you that's pretty icy as well. Temperature in the car says 33. However, the actual surface temperature is right at 32 and has been oftentimes in these storms. The surface temperature, if we've had weather that's been much warmer previously, would be upper 30s, lower 40s. But in this case, the surface temperature, if I'm not mistaken, is right at 32. So anything that's fallen is freezing. And before this, mind you, we had freezing rain. Freezing rain is the worst winter precipitation you can possibly have. It weighs on trees, weighs on power lines. It's the type of thing that can destroy the landscape in neighborhoods and put people without power for days and weeks. And think about people, not like you and me. It's just a discomfort, an inconvenience. But think of people like my late mother, who she was on oxygen. The power going out for her is a life-threatening deal. And in a small town, in a state like this, where we're not used to this type of weather, you're not often going to be able to just get somebody up on the phone and get them to the house right then. To the eye, this looks a little more like ice, like the snow is starting to pack. I feel like I'm going a little bit too fast at 35 here, so I'm going to slow it down. I've got a big man truck coming up on my right. I'm going to give him plenty of room. I'm going to slow it down to even like 30. Yeah, he's going to pass me. He's got a hot date. Still feels pretty good. I'm coming up on MacArthur. Meridian's right here. Meridian was a particular problem spot last night. For all of the white stuff coming down and how this looks today, the driving situation was actually considerably worse yesterday. It was icy. It was downright icy. And again, for any of you in the north, I would say, you know what? I get it. You can deal with snow, but you have just as much trouble with ice as we do. Feels pretty good. Got grip. Again, not going to make any crazy maneuvers. I do have a smaller car trying to pass me here on the left. Not the wisest idea. Look, if you're not all-wheel drive, I mean, do what you got to. And this isn't 6 feet. No, excuse me, 6 inches high. So it's not like the carriage height of the Subaru Forester really comes into play. But I can have a little more confidence because of the all-wheel drive. And because I've done this before. There are a lot of people who don't have 30 years of driving experience out of here. I just passed a car and they probably think I'm a dipshit. I do have a hot date. It's with my fiance. So I got to get home. But I got to get there in one piece. I hope you're enjoying the narrating of this little trip. If you are, please feel free to subscribe. I mostly play music and do tutorials, but I don't know. I'm bound to do anything in 2019. I only have 767 subscribers. Make it 1,000. Make it 1,000 tonight. Doesn't cost you a dime. Every time I see MacArthur Boulevard, I think, of the song MacArthur Park, written by an Oklahoma, Jimmy Webb. Depending on who you are and how lenient you are about your lyrics, either one of the greatest or worst songs of all time. Now I'm in a dilemma here because I got a car coming up on my right pretty fast, and I need to get over. Yep, I'm sorry. He's not going to like me. Sorry. That's the Oklahoma wave. That's the Oklahoma apologetic wave. Sorry. Mostly when you're driving in this weather in Oklahoma, you just got to keep your Okie spirit about you. Cut other people some slack. Give them some room. Presume their best intentions. We got a car trapped in the middle here, having some issues. Looks like a minivan. Yeah, totally stuck in the middle. Gotta keep up your tires too. Definitely feeling slicker up this hill. And again, this is essentially a ramp as we're coming closer to the Rockwell exit, which is what I gotta take to get to Council. We'll go to Council and then we'll go south, and that will be the end of our journey. Alrighty, I'm going to signal my intentions. Follow the tracks into the toll lane. Tricky is merging into the right-hand lane here. As there are other vehicles there, but I'm going to signal my intention again super early and try to slide around this truck. And get in the right lane. Maneuver executed. How about that? Now I just hope they don't ask me to stop. Oh, but they are. How about that? And it's icy. It locked a little bit. So we're at Memorial and Rockwell. And if you watched my video about whiplash a few weeks ago, Christy and I, we had a wreck right here going the other way. Car ran a red light, bam, T-boned us. She's been too, at the chiropractor ever since. It's a pain in the butt. Don't get in an accident. Look both ways. Even though it says green, look both ways. What I like to do in this situation is let up slightly on my brake and make sure it doesn't lock before we actually go. And I won't automatically hit gas when it goes to green. We got reds everywhere, we got yellows, we're about to have green. There we go. Oh yeah, this road has barely been touched. And this guy's gonna pass my ass. I don't blame him. Alrighty. Alright. It's a little more snow. I feel pretty comfortable here. Worst thing that could happen is I hit the curb. Alright? I'm doing everybody who wants to drive in the right lane a favor anyway, by helping them melt a little bit of ice. The big company up on your left is Paycom. I think they do payroll software for organizations. This place is always packed with people, so much so that they have an officer here at 5 o'clock who helps to direct traffic out of the building. One of the big up-and-coming companies here in Oklahoma. I believe they're headquartered here. I could be wrong. But from all I've ever heard, great company. And it feels like it's given a little bit, but I think we're going to make it. Like Barry Manilow once sang, looks like we made it. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. The ramp, I'm going 30 miles an hour. That's a little fast for a ramp, but all in all felt pretty good. I'll make a left turn here. Let's see how this goes. I'll cut it not too wide. Oh, it was cake. Cake. All right, now. Let this one turn green, slide right through. Oh, yeah. A little bit of a hill here. A little tricky. Little tricky. Not too much. Nope. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. That's the first locking of any wheels that I've had so far. I took it a little fast though. That's okay. Oh, so beautiful. So I'm going to have to deal with the gate. At least it opened. It ain't frozen. Alright. Let's see how much I can make this spin. It's a little much. Oh well. Alrighty. We've made it home. I hope you have a good evening. A good, safe evening. What I would say is stay inside tonight, but if you got to get somewhere, do your best. You won't, hopefully, for most of you, won't have too much of a problem. Have a good night. Please subscribe. Smash the like button. Good day.